Hello and welcome down onto the tech desk, and in today's video we're going to be looking at these, the new coloured Hyperion Pro Nintendo Switch Joy-Con from NYXI. So these are in the purple. I've already done a video on looking at these in the green, but we're going to go through everything on these today, and we're going to look in the purple, and I will kind of do a little bit of a comparison with these. And also, I've got some other bits to show you here that I found out whilst using these, and we're going to stick it in a case as well, because I managed to get hold of a case for these as well. So when I did the video on these ones, so the green ones, every other question was, yeah, the green's okay, but I kind of want another colour. And they've answered it with this one. This is the purple one, so this is very much like the Hyperion Wizard that came out last year with this colour, almost identical in colour. So the first question in the elephant in the room is, what do you think of this purple? Are you waiting for a black, or are you waiting for a white, or are you happy with the purple, the kind of GameCube vibes with the yellow thumbstick on here? That's the first thing to ask, really, so let me know before we've done anything else. Is purple what you were waiting for? Okay, so I'm going to talk about the box. Not really much on it. It's identical to this one. So I have this one here. The only differences I have scoured and I can find are that this one has the kind of like larger, because it's got larger thumbstick caps on there. They're larger. And on here, they show a little bit smaller, so they're different. But they've updated it on the box. That's it for the front and the sides. And on the back as well, they've changed all of their contact details to their new contact details, and that's it. But essentially, that's it. That's the only difference really from the box. There's no real difference on the old Hyperion. And then once you've opened up the box, what you get inside is you get your centerpiece, which is basically just a bit of plastic that you can stick your Joy-Con on, which we'll talk about later. Really good instruction manual, tells you all about it, all the different languages. That's nice. And you get yourself a very basic USB. As with all of these, I just leave these in the box. This is a pretty unremarkable USB. It does the job, but it's pretty unremarkable. I do have one of these. I would like to have seen NYXI to start supplying this, because this is a 1 USB-A to 2 USB-C. And this, I've been using this much more to be able to charge these both when it's off the Switch. We'll talk about that later. But this one gets put to one side, save for Sunday best, stays in the box because I don't need it. I use a different USB. And with this, we'll talk about this because this is an extra piece that I'm going to be talking about later. So what I'm going to do is, let's take these off and let's go over them. And what I'll do is, to make life easier, I'm going to stick it on this central piece here, just so we can talk about it a little bit easier when I'm holding it up to the camera. So as you can see, it's an asymmetrical design, as most Switch are. We have a minus up there, thumbstick, D-pad, T, and screenshot, and a plus, X, Y, A, and B, thumbstick, home, and T on there. And then we have an RGB there, an RGB there, an RGB around the ring, which I'll knock the lights off later so you can get a better view of it. This is the central piece there, looks nice, and you can tell which player you are, 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the RGB there, brilliant. And then on the top, L, R, ZL, ZR. They're all digital, so just click in one. There's no analog about it. Just one click in, one click in. And then on the back there we have M and vibration, M and vibration. And then we have these buttons here, which are your back paddles. Okay, so let's start with a bit more detail. Let's start off with these buttons first. So the minus and the plus, yeah, they are regular clicky buttons. A nice little snap in that feel nice. They're overly on the top there, so it's a nice, easy to get hold of them and to press. Brilliant. And exactly the same with these 4 down here, all identical. So the home, the screenshot, and the 2 T's, they're raised up a little bit, easy to press. Right, let's move on. So the sticks, these are Hall Effect sticks, as with these ones. These are Hall Effect and they are brilliant. You're not going to have any issues with them at all. The Hall Effect sensors have lived up to the hype. They are brilliant. Hardly any dead zones, which we'll talk about later. And I just really enjoy using them. But if you notice with these, they're quite large. So if I get a regular Joy-Con and hold them up, you'll see how much bigger they actually are. Do that. There, look at that. So it's a good 2 or 3 millimeters wider than this. And it's great. It's completely flat on there, but it has the kind of serrated edge around the edges so you can get hold of it. I don't think you can really complain about these. I like it. I'm more of a kind of like an edge person. I kind of hold my thumbsticks on the edge more often than not. And with the grippy texture around, it really does help with that. These do actually come off, so you can pop them off. Snap it off there like that. And then you have this kind of like the infinity ring, and then you have the cap there. That's all well and good. They don't actually sell any of these as yet, so you can't actually buy any, so I'm not sure why you can take them off at the moment. The only thing you can do is really swap them with the green ones here, but green on there would look disgusting, so I don't know why you do that. But that's it really, so you can take them off. It's just maybe in the future they'll decide to sell these sticks. Great. Right, now on the D-pad, I have to say I really like this D-pad. I understand that a D-pad is a personal preference, and I'm not a huge D-pad when I'm gaming, but I really like this. So as you can see, it clicks in with a definite click. Now, here's what I wanted to talk about when we're talking about the difference between this and these. These definitely, so admittedly I've been using these for quite a long while after these, so it might be just wearing in, but there's a definite more click in these than in these. So let me hold up to the microphone a little bit and let's see if you can tell the difference. Okay, so I'll do the first one, I'll do this one, next one I'll do this one. Ready? %100% can tell the difference between that, can you? Okay, so it feels louder and a little bit more clicky, but definitely louder. So with the D-pad, I love it. I really do like this D-pad. And then moving on, we have X, Y, A, and B. Now these light up as we showed before. Let's just turn on the switch. Okay, so they light up X, Y, A, and B, and that's sunk down. Can you see that? Really nice. So when you're playing in the dark, we'll do the light test later. You'll see that. This stick here, so it has the lights around it. And again, exactly the same. You can ping this off if you want to, but you can't really replace it with anything because I don't sell anything as yet. On the top, the L and the R and the ZL and ZR, really comfortable, no problems with these. These are quite clicky, so the L and the R's, they're quite nice to feel. These ones are a little bit softer, okay, so a little bit more of a bounce to them. Definite ridge, okay, so there's a little bit of pre-travel and then a click down and then there's no post-travel on there. So I don't think you'll have an issue with these. These are great. And then spinning over, we have the paddles. These paddles are superb. They have, they've moved them from the old Athenas, the Hyperion Pros. They're just in a great position to rest your finger on, and if you need to press it in, you're not going to accidentally press them, and they're in the perfect position. There is only one either side, and for this one, you can only use to program on these buttons here in the click, and on this one, you can only do this one. So this one here, you can't use for this because they are independent Joy-Con. Okay? And the main feature about these, the Hyperion Pro, for me, is the size of them and the comfort of them. They are brilliantly well made and they are such a superb comfort. So my average adult hands, it just fits in my hand superbly and it is super comfortable for hours of gaming. I just can't stress how comfortable these actually are because of this bulbous bit around the edge of a Joy-Con. So look, you see the size of a Joy-Con, how much bigger this is. It's just way more comfortable than an official Joy-Con. It's all plastic, all around the front, so I like this nice smooth plastic, and on the back it's kind of got this grippy texture on here, which is nice. I mean, if I'm being picky, it would be nice to have this as a different material, but I think that would just push their costs up too much. So we'll let them off with it just being plastic, but yeah, it would have been nice to have it being premium. And then on the bottom here, we're talking about build, is little things like these flat bits here. You see that flat bit there and that flat bit there? That just means that when you've got it in the switch, we'll talk about it in a second, it just rests up on there. It's quite a stable position. It can wobble a little bit. You can push it and it will fall over, but look at that. So it stays on there. So if you're playing on desktop mode, you can have it like that with the screen and obviously playing like that. This is such a superb addition. And then moving over, we have the, as we said before, they're independently controlled. So we have the independent charging. So you need to charge them up independently or charge them up whilst they're on the switch. Okay, so let's get it on the switch and we'll talk about some of the features. For starters, as we've already done this, but I just want to show you, does it wake up the switch? It's quite an important thing. Yes, it does. Okay, so if it's off the switch, it will wake it up. There was no pairing for me. I just slotted them on and they worked from the first time I got them. Lovely. And let's go over to here. So we're not charging, so my switch is about 25% flat. If I plug this in, it will charge the switch and it will charge these two as well at the same time. If you take one off, do that. There we go. So we're charging up our Joy-Con that's off and our switch is in there. If we are charging up our switch as well, so those two are charging through this cable, and this one is charging through this cable. Plenty of options for charging. And then the only other way I've got of charging it is via this. So this is actually for the Wizard, as you can tell with this. This is the Wizard pack. NYXI sell these, and it's actually a powered central piece. Okay, I just got this because I thought it would work on these, and because they're JoyCon and they kind of like a standard size, yes they do. Doesn't fit it perfectly, but it does kind of on the front, and it's grey, which kind of matches. So if I plug that in now, you'll see that it goes green there, which means it's actually fully charged. Oh no, so the right one is actually charging because that's red, and the left one is already charged. So the right one's charging and the left one isn't because it's fully charged. So if you want to, if you just want one kind of thing to charge it, you can get this central piece. You can buy that central piece that will charge them up. You can buy them off Amazon as well, central pieces. I just got this one just because I had a little bit of the branding and it came with all my other stuff as well. So let's talk about the features then. It has rumble. It has different types of rumble as well. So you can set that using that button up there. 4 different types of rumble. So you have like low, medium, high and off. It's not HD rumble, but it's good enough. Don't have a problem with the rumble at all. It has motion. Doesn't have NFC, so if you want to use it with Amiibos, you can't do that. And it also has turbo as well, so you can have the turbo with automatic and manual, which means it will press that for you, or you can press that and do the turbo if that's what you want. And it also has the different RGBs. So let's talk about the RGB for a bit. Let's knock these lights down. Right, so as with the controls, the RGBs are separate. So you control the RGB on that one and you control the RGB on that one. And the way you do that is you hold down T. So let's hold down T and then you click the thumbstick in and then let go of T. And it goes through all of the different colors. So red, yellow, blue, green, purple, orange, white, and then multicolored. Double tap that and it will do the breathing of the colors. Double tap it again and it does breathing of the multicolored, and then double tap it again and it goes off. One issue I had with certainly the Athena of the old ones is when this got turned off, when you turned it back on again, it wouldn't come back onto the color that you'd selected. Not the case with this one. I've had this off for quite a while and it has come back onto the color that I selected. I don't know if there's a time limit for that, but certainly for over a couple of days I think I left this off. It came back on with that. And as you can see, the RGB down there and the RGB all around the ring, like that. Exactly the same with this one. So you hold down T and then you click the stick in and you go through all of the colors. These will always be lit up, by the way. And then double tap it, breathing, double tap it, breathing, multicolored, double tap it, and then off. Right, so let's do the thing then where we just check out the sticks. As I said, these are Hall Effect sticks, so you're not going to have any problems with them at all. Calibrate control sticks, let's do the left one. So let's move it. So almost instantly, then when we get to the edge, I reckon about a millimetre or so from the outside, not even that. And then anywhere stuck, no. Nice and fluid all the way around. Brilliant. Right on one. Exactly the same. Just the Hall Effect sensors are brilliant. They are the answer to all our prayers, apparently, and there's going to be there's hardly anything. Literally hit the edge and you're there. And then let me just quickly show you how easy it is to map the buttons. Okay, so we've got A there. The way to map this one, so at the moment, I've cleared this, so this doesn't do anything. We're going to map it to, let's map it to B, shall we? Going to hold down M, hold down B, and hold down the button there, the back button, let them all go. Then when you press that, it will be B. So let's change that to A. So hold down M, hold down A, and hold down the paddle, like that. And then when you press the paddle, there it goes. So let's just go back into that. So then when you press the paddle, it's now A. Okay, really easy to do on the fly. Can almost do it one-handed, but much easier. So let's do this. Let's do this side. Let's do left on the D-pad. Where's M? Up the top there. M up on the D-pad, and then the paddle. There we go. Up on the D-pad. Superb. Really easy to do them on the fly. You can almost do it one-handed when you get used to it. So now an important one here is a case for it. Whenever I do Joy-Con, whenever I do grips or anything like that, we're always after a case for it. I managed to get one of these. This is the NYXI one because I just thought it's going to be official. It's going to fit it. It needs to be quite specific for the size of the Joy-Con and the size of the screen as well. And so I got this bad boy. Again, these can be had off the website. This is an absolute monster of a case. The only reason you might not get it is because it is quite big if you wanted a slim one. However, these are not slim. So every case you get, it's gonna be pretty big. But these things, look at this. You're looking at nearly 8 centimeters thick. Okay, so it's quite a big one to throw in your bag, but the positives are it is proper protection. You get a nice kind of wrist strap with it that comes in, and you can plug it onto there. The zip around it, really nice, with the nice NYXI logo zips on it. Really good quality zips around it, and it has like this carbon graphite feel to it. Okay, with the NYXI logo on the front. And then when you pick it open, you have a nice big pocket up here. You're not going to fit much more than, I say, quite a few cables in there and maybe some Joy-Con and stuff. You're definitely not going to get a UK plug in there because UK plug is massive. But that's nice to have that up there with the mesh. And then over here, we have this flap here. Now, this is a double flap. So you have 12 games there, and then you fold it up there. You have another 12. You get 24 games if you want to. And then this bit here, this is where you put your Switch in, right? So you can do, if you put your Switch screen in there, have it on there, and you can have it like desktop. I don't really use that because that kind of gets in the way, but you're more than welcome to do that. And then your Switch fits in here. So if you look at these bits along here, they are perfectly lined up for the Switch and to fit these. And if I pop this in, it kind of just clips in, ready? Okay. There we go. So it kind of just clips in using the top of the screen. None of these buttons get pressed, okay? This shell is hard enough for none of the buttons to get pressed, and even these thumbsticks. So if you look, the thumbsticks raise up above here. There's no way they're getting pressed because it is an absolute beast. Proper hard case, right? Proper hard. I'm going to keep the Joy-Con, made for the Joy-Con. This is the case that I use. This is the case that I use for my Hyperion Pro. You're going to ask things about battery life as well. They don't take long to charge up. I mean, it was around 2 hours to get them fully charged from flat. Having said that, I've never actually run out of battery because whenever they're on my Switch, I'm always getting charged up, and they last long enough to last any gaming session with the Switch, so I wouldn't have an issue with it. Having the RGB on or off didn't seem to make a difference at all to any of my testing, so don't worry about that. So when we think of a kind of like a negative for these things, I'm trying to think of a negative with the Hyperion Pros, and I just think there are so many advantages over the regular Joy-Con. I'm trying to think of one. NFC is probably the only one. You haven't got NFC for these, but I mean, they're comfy, they look good, they last a while, and I just think they feel great, especially with these back paddles and stuff. Do let me know down in the comments below. You can go and have a look at where you can get hold of this, but for God's sake, do not pay full price for these. I'll have a code there. You can buy anything from NYXI with a discount, so go and have a look. What colour do you want to do next? I think I'm waiting out for a black pair. I think if they did a black pair or even a white pair, I think they'll sell like hotcakes, but I'm really enjoying this kind of GameCube feel style of purple. Okay, let me know your thoughts below. Okay, please do like, please do subscribe, go and have a look down the links below, and until the next video, bye-bye.